Inflation is energy theft in the end, right? So everything getting more expensive and harder and harder and harder. Maybe it's better to not work on Bitcoin or in Bitcoin and more bring Bitcoin in your job. Everything in Bitcoin happens is absolute truth, and you can prove this. And this is the first time it happens that you can create a proof as a society.
Welcome back to Trezor Talks, everybody. I am here today. My name is Sean, the host that you guys always see. We've got a few more that we're actually filming right now because it's BTC Prague Week, one of the biggest Bitcoin conferences in Europe. And because of that, we have some special guests with us throughout the weekend. I'm here today with Roman, the founder of Blocktrainer, which is a YouTube channel and a website, both. But you said YouTube channel is definitely the big one, right, for you. But the website as well, basically just educating on Bitcoin exclusively.
Oh, for sure.
Right, yeah. There's what is the ratio actually between the channel and the website?
It's hard to say. I think the website makes 500,000 page views per month.
Okay.
And I think the YouTube channel is, I can't tell you right now, but I think more than 1 million.
I know it's a lot.
Yeah.
So the
channel is German only, yeah. But I think probably in the future with AI, it's going international. But right now we have 215,000 subscribers, which is quite good for a Bitcoin-only educational YouTube channel, especially in German only.
German, yeah. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
So you have 3 countries, Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, which are natively talking German. So that's not a lot of audience right now.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the exciting things about today's episode is like having your content in English, which I know doesn't happen like super often because the majority of what you're doing is all in German. And that does lead me to one of my first questions, which is, how do you pronounce your last name? Because I was reading it and I was like, it's like Reher? Reher?
Reher.
Reher?
Reher.
Okay, because I was like, that's why I didn't say it earlier. I just said Roman in the beginning because I was like, I need to ask you how you pronounce it in the end.
No, it's Reher, and yeah.
Okay, cool. Just so everyone had heard you have like said it at some point. I have family in Germany, so it was actually the first country I ever visited. I was like, first time my family ever went outside of America was to Germany. And so it's like...
I think 25% of the whole American society has German roots.
Does it? Because that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Even Trump has German roots.
Really?
His family is a German family.
Yeah, because I grew up in Texas, and there's so many people who say they have like German heritage, and we have like festivals, like Oktoberfest is like a big thing there too. Because people just like love.
People like to drink.
So yeah, that might be the commonality here between everything. But yeah,
so, what's good on Germany are the beer, right?
Right.
Let's bring this to America.
That's certainly a part that everybody I think can appreciate out of everything. But yeah, just to kick us off, if you want to describe, I didn't want to give probably a weaker version of the description, but how would you describe Blocktrainer? What would you say it is and its goal and mission?
So yeah. It's not that easy to describe us because there's my team, which is mostly for the website and for the content parts. And there are me, the face of the YouTube channel and the creator of the YouTube channel. And I think we do very good, very evident, very deeply researched, good articles in German and news articles, but educational content as well on the website and tutorials and everything you need. And on YouTube, it is like it developed over the time. So I started, for myself, I come from the technical side. I was in the IT before I started my own business. And I explained the technical side when I started the channel. But over the time, you learn about, Austrian economics, and you learn about physics and everything which is affected by Bitcoin, right? So literally our life. And these are the rabbit holes I'm very interested in. I just like to talk about all this stuff. So I start, mostly I do live streams now. Sometimes I do produce videos, but most time these are just live streams. I start with current topics or news topics, talking about this and giving an meaning what's happened right now, I don't know, in the US and the politics and everything. And in the end, we're doing just simply AMA about everything, like everything that's affected by Bitcoin, from the society part, about the technical part, about, I don't know, economic stuff and so on. And my team is creating new produced videos out of these parts after, and is re-uploading the content for people which don't want to see a 2-hour live stream, but want to see a 10-minute part, which is interesting. This is like the business model which developed over the time. And Blocktrainer is, I think, now more philosopher channel. So a Bitcoin philosopher channel than a technical or an classic tutorial channel or so.
Yeah, because I was looking at some of the content. And that is what was interesting, is because when people would talk about you, like as we were leading up to the podcast, it was always mentioning the YouTube channel, because that seems to be, I guess, a larger chunk of everything. But then when I was reading through the website, I was like, this is a lot of like rich content. There's a lot of like really thorough and like really solid information here that it looked like you guys have put like a lot of effort into.
Yeah, I think this would never be possible without my team. You know, my team is not a regular company team. It's more like I fell asleep at the afternoon, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, my chief editor is calling me, hey, Roman, here's something up. You want to do a live stream in 2 hours or so? Yeah. So they are always on fire. You can't imagine how this is to work with these people, because they're just, it's just passion for them. And this is the reason why we have such a good quality. I don't think I could pay this effort for in a regular fiat world where the people say, I'm working from 9 to 5 and everything else is gone, right? Yeah. That's not possible.
What is the team size? Into how many people do you have?
We are nine people right now, but not all of them are fully in the company. Some are external parts, but they do so much work for us that they are something like a team part, like our technical side. We developed our website completely from scratch, and our technical part is quite a team part, but he's an own company if you see the official side, right? I think in the company we have 5 people in full-time right now, some in part-time, and overall we are nine people.
And you started it, was it like 5 years ago? Or was it a little bit longer?
No, I started the YouTube channel in 2018, but I created a company in 2020. And before, I don't earn money with the channel. It was just a hobby for my free time. And there were some personal things that happened in this time, and I decided to make a company out of this.
Because I saw some videos. I was like looking through some of the different posts. It was like, I don't remember the exact title, but it was like you like looking at yourself from like when you started. You had like a buzzed head. It was like the early days, like something like that. Just reviewing everything. It's always cool to see someone start something like that and then see it grow.
Yeah, and to be fair, I should say this channel does not start as a Bitcoin maximalist channel, because so you have to imagine the time. It was 2018, and I think Bitcoin only was not the thing.
That was like altcoin time. Like yes, everyone was crazy about
yes, and you don't realize that there's probably a Bitcoin only future, right? But the channel was never on investing or so. As I mentioned, it was more like the technical part. So I explained how's the technical infrastructure from a blockchain and how are nodes working and stuff like that. Yeah. So I never made advertising for altcoins or so, but videos about the technical parts. And I think 1 or 1.5 years later, I realized more and more there's one network which is really decentralized, and all others are not really decentralized. If you look deeper in, like it's a governance bingo, we say in German. So they put the governance on another side and say, look, we are decentralized, but they are not. And that's a problem. And there's one simple thing: how you can prove in Ethereum that if you're a new Ethereum member, how can you prove that you are in the real Ethereum network? So some would say, yeah, that's a blockchain everyone uses, Coinbase uses, and so on. And then you can say, yeah, but then you have trust Coinbase that this is a real blockchain. So what if AI just copies Ethereum 1 million times and you download one Ethereum copy of a blockchain? And she created, I don't know, everything, NFTs and transactions. And you look at it and you think, yeah, that's Ethereum. But on Bitcoin, you just look at the difficulty. You look, under this difficulty, under this hash rate, you need to find every or approximately all 10 minutes a block. Could this be a fake? And it's not possible based on our physical law. So Bitcoin has no trusted party to prove it's decentralized. All other networks need this proof by an external party. So you have trust a friend. And when you have trust a friend, this network can't be decentralized. That's the point, right? And you can play this game on literally every altcoin, some with other reasons, but in the end, only Bitcoin is decentralized. And when you realize this, you have the decision as a YouTuber. You can can talk further about altcoins, and you're lying to your community because you say, I maybe make more money with this or something else. Then it's very bad because people will get wrong information from you.
Yeah.
Or you don't realize this over the time, and then it's also bad because people get content and information from someone who not know how this all works and how decentralized really works and so on, right?
Yeah, that is really interesting because it feels like around that time, like 2017, 2018, everything was all about like just hype.
Yeah.
And it was, you didn't see a lot of technical information. You saw like, how can I get rich as fast as possible? It was like all like pure, like whatever the fastest turnaround was for like anything, is you saw like new coins being created constantly. That was like the ICO boom and everything that was happening at that time. So to have had a more technically focused channel at that time, I think is a really cool play. I had a hard time even finding that, like when all that was going on.
That was a reason for the channel. I've created the channel in 2018. That was a beer market after the hype in 2017.
Yeah.
And 17 was crazy. For people which are not in this time, they can't imagine what's going on this time. It was so crazy, like BitConnect and all this stuff. So millions or billions were destroyed on wells. It was just a crazy time. And it was, you start YouTube, you type in crypto, and it's literally 99% scam. Yeah. It was so
it's
crazy.
Like people with numbers and just like charts going up and just big like flashy things.
And when this all was gone, when they deleted their channels because they know they will sue me for what I've done, I realized, okay, this was scam, but the technical side or the Bitcoin will have a future. So even if there was a hype and a lot of scam, and I want to do serious content about this. So, and this was the reason why I've created the channel. I had all the information for myself because it was just a hobby. I just like to dig deep in this stuff. And I thought, hey, all this knowledge you have, there's no one is talking about this stuff. So just create a channel in your free time and talk about this. So this was the reason.
Yeah, and that kind of leads to the next question that I had for you, which is, like when you're covering something that's technical, it's something that I've actually asked myself a lot doing content for Trezor and the videos that we make. But how do you choose what content to cover? Because the thing that I found is like I meet one thing that I feel like was I don't know if I want to call it a mistake. Maybe you could call it that. But I wanted to get like into the advanced topics like really fast. And I found that a lot of people maybe just aren't there in their journey. That's not the thing that they need at this time. And there's also new people coming in constantly. There's always people looking for like one-on-one stuff. So like you might have a desire personally to get into more advanced technicals when maybe your audience just needs more like foundational stuff. And you're doing your content in German. I mean, like all German or primarily. So it's like you even have probably a more unique like audience point where that the information that's all in English might not be the same thing that you're seeing in German. So like, how do you approach that problem and like what to choose when you talk about things?
I think it's depending on the frame. Where are you in a cycle? Because when you're in the bull market cycle, you don't have to talk about Kardashev scale or something like this. I talked about the Kardashev scale long before Adam Back and so on. So in Germany, we had this deep parts of the rabbit hole very, very early. and I dig deep in this all this stuff, but for a very small part of the community, which was so deeply in it, because someone, I don't know, the average dad wants to, is interested in Bitcoin, and then you watch a channel and Bitcoin is something like the log file for the Kardashev scale, because all the energy Bitcoin consumes worldwide and all the economic power you purchase with Bitcoin is in the end like the perfect log file, how far we are on this Kardashev scale, and what does it mean if we getting closer to Kardashev scale 1, type 1 civilization, and so on. So, and what's happened probably then, so he will say, okay, what's this? I don't want to watch this. I want to know how to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think this is, you can do this parts in the bear market for the community, which is still there, because they are so deeply interested. They don't, so when nothing happens, no big news happen, they're interested maybe in deeper stuff. So this audience, which is still there, they want to see the advanced topics. And when the hype phases like, I don't know, Trump election or everything else, you need to do a little bit more mainstream content. What does it mean? More fundamentals and more, I don't know, how affect Bitcoin, the election and everything else, right? So, and you can change this a little bit. And so you can, if you feel, the hype is going down a little bit, you can bring some more advanced content.
That is true. You do tend to find the more dedicated users in those bear markets. Like that's what I noticed. Because I did like a lot on like Reddit. I was like really into Reddit for a while. I still am to some degree, but it's like you would see, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Like you can find like just trash content on Reddit too. But if you got in some of the more like maybe niche subreddits or topics and things, there would be people in the bear market sticking around, and those are the ones who are more like dedicated, wanting to dig deeper. You said rabbit hole. That's funny because like I've thought of that on my own. Like it just feels like a rabbit hole, but I came to it on my own terms, and I found out apparently everybody says that. Everyone calls it a rabbit hole, and I was like, oh, so I guess that's a pretty intuitive way of like thinking about it, because that is how it feels. You start digging, and you just go like deeper and deeper. Whenever you get into the technical side of things, it's like a never-ending hole for everything.
Yeah, and I think it's a perfect analogy because the rabbit hole thing comes maybe from Alice in Wonderland, right?
Yeah.
And what is Alice in Wonderland? When you see this comic, you realize she probably took some drugs or so. I don't know, right? So she's falling down. She's getting big and small. There are these guys drinking coffee and are totally nervous. And so overall in this movie, or the cat with the eyes, and so you find all these drugs the society takes, right? And the thing is, some people need drugs. So what does fiat money and socialized system do to us? We are just a part in a machine, like a small part you can exchange, and this is how our society works. And this brings you, so you need energy for all you do. So you eat your bread and I don't know, and this is all energy which comes to you and you use this for your work and everything you do in the end. And if you're totally in this and you need all the energy the whole day, you have no time to find yourself or find new things because you're out of energy, right? So, and inflation is energy theft in the end, right? So everything getting more expensive and harder and harder and harder. Some years ago, I don't know, our parents, one part of the parents go to work, the other part was at home. And it was easy to pay for a house and 2 cars. Today, both have to work because it's not enough money. So where is the time and the energy to dig deep in other things? Some people probably taking drugs for opening doors in the rabbit hole to have new ideas and breaking out of this hamster, I don't know what's hamster wheel, right? So I don't need that because Bitcoin is this opener, right? You dig deep into the rabbit hole and you always find new doors and you think, wow. So maybe just a small door, but you open this and behind this door is a whole universe. That's just crazy. And the reason why you dig so deep into Bitcoin is not to find the next reason for Bitcoin. It's more like you want to find the mistake. You want to find the reason why Bitcoin probably fails. And you dig deep into the economic part, into the technical part, into physics, into, I don't know, Kardashev scale, yeah? What's the reason why Bitcoin probably fails in the future? Is this a society reason or is it a technical reason? And you just want to find out. And while you in this rabbit hole, the world is becoming absolutely clear for yourself because you realize everything you learned in school about life was probably not quite wrong, but yeah, it was quite wrong, but not in all parts, but in the most parts. And you realize the life is something very different. And Bitcoin is opening this view because you dig deep in this rabbit hole and you feel crazy. You feel crazy because no one else around of you is realizing this stuff except the Bitcoiners.
Yeah.
Right? So, and yeah, in the end, I think the rabbit hole analogy is like you took a trip or so, and the Bitcoin trip, right? The orange pill, and you realize, oh wow, I had closed eyes before, and it's crazy how far and widespread my view on the world now is thanks to Bitcoin.
Yeah, I still find myself like forgetting that the rest of the world does not think this way. Like, especially when you work in a company or it's your job the whole time. Like, I visited America for the first time after about 2.5 years. I've been living here for over 2 years, and we went back like last summer. And it was just like a difficult conversation to have with people because the average person doesn't think about this stuff. It's not like a part of their lives. And you come in and be like, I'm working for a Bitcoin company. They might give you like a raised eyebrow, like, okay, you know, like that kind of thing. But it's like that exact thing you mentioned is precisely what I did. I was like, where is the problem or where's the flaw here? And it's like the more that I feel like it's because people get used to the system, or you hear certain phrases, or this happens definitely in English a lot, where people are like, we just don't have a better system. And it's like, well, I mean, we didn't for a long time. Like you could have said that for most of your life, but we're at this point where people either refuse to look into it more. I don't know if it's laziness, I don't know if it's stubbornness or what it is, but all of these criticisms, like for myself, when I went in and looked at them, I'm like, oh, these problems are solved. They are solvable. They are things that Bitcoin takes care of. But most people are just unaware of them. They haven't taken the time to look into it and learn it for themselves.
But I can give you the reason for this. So we are all energy efficient, because if you are not energy efficient, you will die. Like a tree consumes more energy than he will get from the sun and everything else, he will die. If a person gives more energy out than he's consuming, he will die by starving, right? So in the end, we are energy efficient. And that's the reason why people are addicted to sit on the couch and eat sweets, because it's pure energy, right? It's just sugar. And your brain says, that's what I want.
Yeah.
you literally don't use any energy, and so much energy is coming in. Great.
Make sure we don't die.
Please continue this. This is great, right? So, and you're on the couch, you have content and everything. So you have to realize that a person which have a lot of problems has to handle the time and the energy of their life. And if they realize there is something that is so crazy different, you probably have to change your whole life. But where should you get the energy from to dig deep into this topic, right? So they see this and they fear. I mean, I think I've used now thousands, 7,000-8,000 of hours of research. I don't know how many hours these are. And if someone realizes he needs to bring up this time for Bitcoin, for understanding, for questioning the whole system, the security structure. I mean, everyone wants to have security. And if you realize you are not in a secure system, it just makes fear for yourself. And there's something, you know, the movie Matrix?
Yeah.
There's an Agent Smith, right? And Neo is walking through the Matrix, and there's a stranger on the streets with his bottle in its, I don't know, and somehow he's turning into the Agent Smith, right? Yeah. So if someone is in this Matrix and realize, oh, this is attacking my life and everything I believe in, the Agent Smith rises up. It's the Agent Smith effect. And he's defending the system he don't understand because he's fearing that the system probably ends, because it's everything he know. And this is the reason why people, when they smell Bitcoin and what probably Bitcoin questions and probably Bitcoin ends, they fear this ending of the system how it was before.
And what's established.
And and it's time evident. You can see this in all time frames. Like when the electricity was found, there were in the newspaper small cartoons with people dying in the in the ropes, in the energy ropes, and so on, and a bad energy spider killing the society. So because it just changed so much in your life that new disruptive technologies, which changing the life how it was before, it makes fear to the people. Like they just want to defend the old system, even if it's good or bad. So
it certainly is. Like there's something to that argument for sure. Because I saw that exact same thing during like my Bitcoin learning. It was actually something I used in my interview as well for Trezor. I remember because you said that, it actually made me remember it. It was a comic about very similar when cars were invented. People were like, why would you abandon your horse? Like, oh, a horse doesn't need oil, it just needs carrots, like stuff like that. And so it was like this anti-automobile advertisement. You don't see that kind of stuff today because it's like not relevant anymore. But people had that exact same kind of reaction. It is a fear reaction. That's what's going on there.
Yes.
And it is like, you think about it, you are saying something pretty radical. Like when you go to someone who they don't know anything about Bitcoin and you come and you go, hey, the whole system has critical flaws and it needs to change. That is like a radical statement. And on one side, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it is like correct. That's exactly how it is. And so it can sound, I think, just really maybe shocking to people, a little abrasive, especially if they're not used to it. Because I know for me, it was a slow I was hesitant. Like I remember in the beginning, I didn't just like come over immediately. It was like 1 foot at a time, like one step and now I'm in this place where I'm like quite convinced and quite embedded in this knowledge and these beliefs and everything. But I feel like, yeah, you kind of got to be careful if you're just going up to someone. Like I said, when I went home to my family, I'm not like, doing word vomit onto them. I'm like, just one little question at a time, just one little thing, and then we'll go to the next one.
If you're too harsh, they probably say, oh, this is probably Scientology 2.0, so please don't talk about that.
And you feel that way as the person who's like presenting it. You're like, oh, no, I swear, it's not like this crazy thing.
The thing is, people want that you telling the truth all the time. Yeah. But if you do, they can't handle the truth. That's the point, right? And it's a dilemma for Bitcoiners because Bitcoin is a network of the truth. And so everything in Bitcoin happens is absolute truth, and you can prove this. And this is the first time it happens that you can create a proof as a society. Never was this able before. So you can say, yeah, but there's a book and they wrote this and this. But yeah, it's maybe a lie. How can you prove the past? So, and the past is written by the winners. So maybe everything is a lie we live in, and it don't have to be, but it's possible. But not for Bitcoin. Everything in Bitcoin happens is absolute truth. Yeah. And this is hard for people because, look, we learn when we grow up, we learn from our parents and other people how to act. I think this word acting, I mean, we are in a big acting, in a big theater. And if your child is not acting like the society wants this, they will tell you, oh, your kid is crying, please tell him to not act like this. So we are just acting our whole life because we live a life which is based on things we can't prove. Yeah, we are just in a big act where we think this is a correct act. But in real, there's something you can prove now, and this will end this whole theater. And people fearing this, right? They are so deeply connected in their role. I've learned I'm the bank man, so please don't end this. I've learned I'm the policeman, please don't end this, right?
Yeah, that's, there's something, like I don't really think of myself as like a conspiracy theorist, but it's really easy to slip down some of these arguments sometimes. I do think there's like validity to certain arguments, which is like when you say Bitcoin like shows all transactions on a network, like all the proof is there, that sounds like a good thing, right? But what people will do a lot of times is like do this, we call it the fallacy of appeal to authority. You go, oh, well, this politician doesn't think it's a good thing. This billionaire doesn't think it's a good thing. And to me, I'm like, well, yeah, a lot of them would not want something that shows how their money works because they're not doing good things with the money. Like a lot of the money that they use is like in fiat systems is being abused. It's being hidden. Things like there's fraud everywhere. And we're aware, this isn't like secret information. Like everybody agrees that people misuse the current system of money. And it's like, that should be an obvious argument, but people will use it for the opposite. They'll be like, well, the person said, Bitcoin's a scam, so I just don't trust it. I'm like, it should be the exact reverse of the argument you're making there.
Right. To the conspiracy theory thing. So I think, these are theories till they're proved, right? But the thing is, if this is maybe possible, it is maybe possible. And in Bitcoin, there's no conspiracy because everything is open, and this is the point. Yes,
it just is.
That's it. That's easy. So, and the other thing is, we want to live deeply. So, fear is a way harder feeling than love or friendship, because if you are dead, you can't have love or friends, right? It's like you're in an airplane, and they teach you, hey, when something's going wrong, first put on your mask for yourself and then help your kids. Not first help your kids. So that you live is for your deep brain the biggest thing. So fear is the hardest feeling because this is a feeling which takes care of you. So you open the door, there's a bag full of money, and there's a tiger which want to kill you. So you think, oh, I think it's better to run.
Yeah.
So this for situations like this, you need fear, right? So fear is a very strong feeling, and you can. But the next thing is, fear is always a not good thing to make decisions, because you're always doing so. You are not energy efficient if you're handling your situations with fear, because you say, okay, it's not important to be energy efficient right now. It's important to run away. So even if it's not energy efficient, or maybe there's a better way now for handle the situation, but in the first time, just run away. So if you handle in fear, you're always in a very inefficient situation for your life. And look in the media, look in the politics, look everywhere. They make fear. Fear about the climate, fear about the war, fear about, I don't know, right? Everything is fear the whole time. And people are in fear the whole time. And that's the reason why you spend so much energy and waste so much energy. You can't stop the war in another country. You can't change the climate as a person, right? So everything you can do is try to live a good life for yourself. So, and if you realize this, you don't have to fear all the stuff. So, and this is so hard, because if you use a money where you're forced to pay taxes and everything else to pay for all the stuff, you are responsible for all the stuff, but you don't, right? So Bitcoin proves this. This is the point. And it's not a society solution, it's an individual solution. If you become a Bitcoiner 5 or 6 years ago, everything is getting cheaper for you, right? You're going to the gas station. Gas is becoming, I don't know. You pay some cents compared to your Bitcoin stash and to the price that Bitcoin has since you are saving in Bitcoin. So the world is getting easier for you, and you realize life is good. Life has problems always. Life will have or bring up problems when we have a Bitcoin standard. Problems are good, because if you have no problems, you don't develop new great things. Like the humanity is falling on the nose, standing up and doing something more great out of this. So it's a process. And you can have the view on, oh, I'm falling at the nose all the time. Or you can have the view on, oh man, what great stuff do I create all the time, right? It's a point of view. And Bitcoin is changing this, because it gives this purchasing power and everything back to the humans, to the individuals, which can solve their own problems. And this is a solution, in my opinion, in the end.
And with all of these ideas, like one other question that I had with you, I mean, you said it's gone from more the technical side to the philosophical side, which is a lot of what we're discussing right now already. But whenever you started everything in the very beginning, it's like, what drove you to make the choice to do German versus like doing like an English? I feel like a lot of people who are second language speakers, they will still go towards English, especially in social media, because they feel like they have a bigger audience. What was the reason you chose to go German from the beginning?
First of all, because I think if you try to explain something really deeply, you can do this best in your mother language, like in your native language, because you have the better words. You are more precise for what you want to say. The next thing is, I think Germany has great inventors, great engineers, great thinkers and writers, but we always have very bad political decisions, right? And I think if you give the power to the people and not to the politicians, Germany could be a very, very great country, or we can create great stuff the whole world will love. Like there was a time made in Germany was a good thing, right? So this coming from the parts I talked about, and I think the politicians destroy this. So give the power to the people, give the money for the people, and they will do great things out of this. It's mostly the system which destroys all the stuff, and this is evident over thousands from years. So watch the Roman Empire, or I don't know, always was it the system itself and the money system which destroyed everything. And since we have so many problems in Germany, I thought it's good to talk in German. So there are people working, 40 years hard for their life. And even if we had only 2% inflation, after 30 years, your purchasing power is reduced by 50%. I mean, how much lifetime do these people spend to nothing, to inflation, right? And these people mostly don't speak English. So these are a generation which is very bad in English, and they only understand German. And if you see the analytics from my channel and how old my audience is, you realize, these are not maybe the boomers, but the generation before and the boomers, and they have a lot of money, and it's still on their bank account, and it's just inflating all the time.
Yeah.
And I think this is the audience which now has the money and is trying to find a solution for this problem.
Yeah, I was looking at, I think it might have been a Twitter account or something like that, but someone posted a guy who follows the price of steak at a grocery store as the measure of inflation. Because I think the most recent one he posted was like 2020, the steak, it was in the US and it was like $20 or something. And in 2025, it was like 33.
Yeah.
It's like enormous
That's
amounts.
not 2 or 5%.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like, what if that was your like retirement money? Yeah. Well, what if you retired in 2020 on a big stack of cash and now 50% inflation has happened since, or I think it was like 40. I mean, I don't want to exaggerate. They're still insane numbers either way. But I was like, that is crazy. And that's the kind of thinking where I'm like, why are more people not questioning this stuff? Because when you get to that point, it's like again, I don't want to be conspiratorial, but that's not conspiracy. That is hard numbers. Yeah. That is just facts. That is what has happened to your money, which is crazy.
What I try to tell you is, but it's good because the economy is growing when you have inflation, right?
Yeah. That's an argument you hear a lot.
Even this is not evident if you look at the numbers. So I don't know when you bring this video, but on my talk at the BTC Prague, I will talk about this topic. It's about the fiat lie. Maybe you can watch this after. I will
go watch the fiat lie, everybody.
The fiat lie. I will dig very deep in this and bring evident data which proves hard money is better for the society and for economy growth.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like so many people hear these arguments and they think we're saying like, I don't like it, and it's like, well, that is part of it. I mean, yeah, we don't like it, but it's because of like the actual like real results, the things that have been happening throughout history and everything. And back on the German audience thing, the reason I brought that up as well is because when I was putting together some of the questions just for this episode, I found an article saying that 6% of Germans own crypto. It was like
I think it's 15 right now.
Is it even high? Yeah, because this was actually from a few years ago.
Yeah.
The numbers that I saw, and I was like, well, I mean, yeah, you hit your audience pretty well then. If it was like, I mean, it's a good opportunity. Obviously, it's your native language and everything. One other thing I found that I thought was interesting, just when I was doing research on things, is apparently Germany was the first country to acknowledge Bitcoin as like a unit of account, which was in 2013. It was very early. So like if you look up like first country, if you use wording on Google that's like, or any search engine, first country to adopt Bitcoin, you always get El Salvador. That's like the first thing that comes up. But however, it was Germany that was the first to like acknowledge it as being like something that you could use as a money. It wasn't legal tender, but it was like they acknowledged
even the first Lightning payment was made in Germany.
Was it as well? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But the question I wanted to ask you though, because at first I was like, well, that sounds like, Germany was being Bitcoin friendly. But then when I thought about it for a minute, so like my friend or my colleague pointed out, like, well, that was probably just so like the government could like keep track of taxes and then like tax people for having Bitcoin, because now it's a unit of account. And I was like, was it malicious or was it like beneficial? I didn't know if you had any opinion on that or anything about it.
So the situation right now is quite good in Germany. So we don't pay taxes for Bitcoin gains if you hold this longer than 1 year.
Is that's how they 1 year? That's
1
it?
year. Yeah, 365 days. And 1 day after, it's tax-free. And
that's actually amazing.
So yeah, it's bad to trade Bitcoin because so if you trade financial products in Germany, you pay 25% taxes plus some stupid taxes as well. So I think 27 or so.
Yeah.
If you trade Bitcoin, you pay your income tax. And this is quite higher probably. If you're a well-paid person, it's maybe 45% if you sell Bitcoin under 1 year. And if you sell Bitcoin after 1 year, there's no tax. And this is quite great. They try to end this. I think we now had the second time where politicians tried it, but they failed with this. So I hope this will stay because it's quite good. If you, bought Bitcoin for 10,000 euros and it's now on 100,000, then 90,000 euros yours, just tax-free. And this is quite great in Germany. And so I hope we can hold this.
Yeah, I mean, we actually were in the Czech Republic, for anyone watching, but like I think they recently changed the law to like 3 years. And everyone was like amazed. They were like, "Oh wow!" So I can just hold it for like 3, but 1, that's crazy.
Even great because you never want to sell your Bitcoin. So
yeah, is a good motivator for everything. So what would you say? Because like again, talking about like the kind of stuff that we do, just creating content, getting the word out there. It's like I feel like we're a part of helping adoption move forward, like getting the word out, educating people more, which is like the coolest job ever. Like I love working here at Trezor and being able to do this every day. But I was just wondering, like, what would you say is the best path to adoption moving forward? Is it just this kind of thing? Is there anything else you think helps us get there faster or better than we would otherwise?
It's hard to answer this. And you, from a philosopher perspective, so, I mean, I do educational content, right? So, and I have probably a big impact. But Bitcoin would work without me still the same. So Bitcoin doesn't need me really. So maybe the people probably need me a little bit because it's easier to get into Bitcoin because of my channel. But in the end, the best way to adopt Bitcoin is to buy Bitcoin, I think. Because when the price is rising, everyone is looking at Bitcoin and thinks, I think I need Bitcoin. And even if they think, okay, I just want to become wealthy and rich, okay. But if they have one step into the rabbit hole, it's over, right? So they never come back again. So the reason why people come to Bitcoin is not important. It's just important that they're interested in Bitcoin.
Just that it happens.
Yeah. So I think the best way to adopt Bitcoin is to buy Bitcoin.
Okay, yeah, that's a solid answer. And
that's so simple, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin is a number go up technology.
Yeah.
So, and this is the reason why most people coming to Bitcoin, and it's okay. I know a lot of people, especially cypherpunks and so on, they want Bitcoin as a money, and I'm totally on this point. But I think the need, or so that something can become money, it something to save the value before. When this function is not given, something can't be money. And I know they fear that all the Bitcoin are in custody later, but I don't think so. I mean, how much Bitcoin the ETFs have right now? Look at the numbers and look how they pump the price. And in the end, not the most Bitcoin will be in custody, but the most expensive Bitcoin. So it's absolutely okay. And I think if you want to have Bitcoin in self-custody, you will always be able to do this. So if you want to communicate in the internet without that the state can hear this also, you are able to do this, even if the internet is completely a real business model from large social media sites like X or Instagram. So install the Tor browser and do something technical parts. You always can use this because this protocol is free in the end. And the same aspect is it's for Bitcoin. So if you want to use this as a money, you will always be able to do so. So even if someone is buying Bitcoin, and some people make a conclusion and say, oh, that's not good that Strategy is buying so much Bitcoin. And I ask these people, so you want to tell me it's bad that someone is buying Bitcoin? That's quite strange, because if this is the reason why Bitcoin fails, Bitcoin should not be successful, because if it's a problem if someone buys Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not that good. So as we thought. So that's not a problem. That's a good thing. And if you tell people, oh, it's a problem that someone is buying so much Bitcoin, you will bring people away from Bitcoin. Right? They think, oh, no, I better not buy Bitcoin because Sailor is buying so much Bitcoin. No, So this is what you create. So you make something which is bringing the people away from Bitcoin. So I think it's a good reason to buy Bitcoin as a company. So why shouldn't they? So, and how would you want to stop that? Because this would mean in the end you can censor someone. So you don't want that. If you're angry about the numbers of Strategy and how much Bitcoin they buy, you should probably buy harder. So yeah, that's the reason, right? Or the only thing you can do against this. And Bitcoin is good how it is, and you will always be able to use Bitcoin, even if a big stash is in company hands or so.
Yeah, that exact type of concept is something I've actually been thinking about a lot lately. You've seen this narrative of like the Strategy and the amount that they're purchasing lately. That seems to be like a big topic lately. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. But you mentioned like the ETFs. Similar arguments come up for things with like the fact that we have like exchanges are a big one for us, because we're a hardware wallet company. So we're always like, get your money off at an exchange. But one counter argument that I have to that is like, look, we just want people getting into it. It's like, yeah, of course, us as a hardware company, we want people using wallets. We want them to be safe and secure. But if it sparks someone's interest and it gets the ball rolling and they start learning more, they start reading articles, then maybe they end up on Blocktrainer, like different places, whatever it is, it's like that is a net positive for the industry. That's good for the community. That's good for society. Like the more that they maybe eventually, like hardware wallets are never the first place people stop. It's like they always start with, how do I buy Bitcoin? And then they go to a major exchange, and that's the first thing that they find. Eventually, people figure out, ideally, like a lot of people will be like, oh, someone else is holding my money. That's like a concept that takes time, I think, for you to realize the problems with.
Yes.
And yeah, we're here when that happens. But I just, sometimes I'll hear narratives in the community of people being like, well, we just have too many exchanges. And I'm like, look, people are using it. That's what, to me, that's what's important.
Yes.
Like the fact that we are seeing more popularity every single bull run, we're getting more and more credibility. More people are coming in. More people are learning. It was literally a joke.
less Bitcoin are on the exchanges.
Yeah, that's also true. that is like, I forgot about that. But yeah, that's also correct. But like we've gone from being an actual joke on the internet in the early days, and just like nerds and developers and like all this stuff, that was kind of the reputation for everything, to more and more credibility every few years. And you can feel it, you can see it. If you've been in this space, like you said, since 2018, 2017, you can see the difference between what the environment used to be like and what it is today. And that's just a good thing. That's just good for everyone. Like nobody loses in that situation.
That's the point. So if it's good for you, why shouldn't this good for someone else, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Would you recommend someone taking the same path that you did, like getting into being a YouTuber, going to entertainment in some way?
If this is your passion, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, if you want to do this just to earn money, you shouldn't. Because I think if you do something just for the money, you will always feel stressed and not motivated to do your work.
Mm-hmm.
So you should do what your passion is, always. I give you a small story from my own life. I become very, very ill in 2019. So pancreas disease, liver disease.
Also, like intense.
Yes, and it was intense. It was not sure if I will handle this. So at this moment, it was very reasonable that I die, I don't know, 3 months later. So it was really heavy. And I was in the best hospital in my town and everything. The chief doctors were in this. It was really crazy. A lot of medicine and so on. And this was the reason I realized, okay, listen to myself. You have a very good paid job as a global player company in the IT, in the IT management. But in the end, if you have to live 3 months, what do you want to do in this time? So money is not the reason you should spend your lifetime or the rest of your lifetime. So even if you are broke at the end, just do whatever you want to do. And I was so fascinated about Bitcoin and this thing that I said, okay, I create now my company. So, and this was the reason where Blocktrainer from a hobby turned into a professional company. And since then, I only do what I really want to do. And I'm getting healthier about this. So the hospital didn't make me healthy. They fight the hardcore situation with medicine and so on, but I had to change my whole life to become healthy. So today I don't take any medicine, and it's crazy what I had before everything. And the doctors sit there and we never saw something like this before, but you are right, because it worked for you. So everything is fine. Just continue what you do. So, and I said, I become a Bitcoiner. That's what. So it changed literally everything. Yeah. And in the end, I heal myself because I just follow my passion, and I'm good in what I do because this is my passion. I can work 16 hours a day because this is my passion without becoming tired, because it is my passion. If you do this for a job, you only do this for the money, you will not be able to do this. And the next thing is focus. Some people think, I have such a great idea. I think I write a book. And there's another great idea. I think I invent a new nice, car, or I don't know. So they're dancing everywhere. And if you bring up 10% of your time for your passion, there's someone who brings up 100% of his time for his passion, and he will be better than you. So you will, no topic, work you do, you will be the best or quite good. So focus on your passion. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, become a pro gamer. Become a farmer. It's just important that you do your passion, and you shouldn't be afraid So I think the financial side shouldn't be an impact for your decision, so that you say, I don't know how to finance this also. I think this is a problem, because in the start you will not earn a lot of money with your passion. So this will come later. When I created Blocktrainer, my idea was not to become wealthy or something else. My idea was just to do what I want to do. The money comes after this automatically, right? So it was a process. And it started as a small little flower and becoming a giant tree, which is it today. But if you start to create in Germany we say Luftschloss, I don't know, like an air castle. I don't know, you build up everything in your idea, but in the end it's not possible to create something like this. So the best idea, starting from scratch, from just a small passion you have, and you dig deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's becoming greater and better. And this is the reason why good entrepreneurs building great companies.
Yeah, I've definitely found myself a victim of not being focused on things. I'll be like, I want to learn the piano. No, I want to learn like a second language. Or like, oh, I want to read more, like whatever it is. And you bounce around from thing to thing, but you never make progress on them or something. So like that is something that like I've tried to change for the past several years, because it's like, it's so much more fulfilling to go deep into something that you really care about and to build something over time.
Yeah, and the next thing is people want to work in Bitcoin, but there's no job in Bitcoin, right? So there's jobs around of Bitcoin. And maybe it's better to not work on Bitcoin or in Bitcoin and more bring Bitcoin in your job. Like now you're following fiat values and so on. Maybe you can change your whole business model to quality, to passion, and bring Bitcoin or the Bitcoin mindset in your job. So this is probably the better way to become a Bitcoiner or to help the Bitcoin community, because you bring up a service Bitcoiners want. I think a fiat maximalist is running for products with other values than a Bitcoiner. A Bitcoiner, which is, I don't know, 5 years in Bitcoin now, he's able to maybe spend more money, or quality is more important for him. Better food is more important for him, or I don't know, something like this. And this is maybe for a lot of people better to follow your passion and bring Bitcoin in your passion instead of trying to kill your passion and do Bitcoin content. So if Bitcoin content is your passion, create a channel and do this. But this is honest and a lot of work. It's a hard field. It's not like the altcoiner field where in hot phases, the altcoin company standing on the side and say, hey, just take money and say my name. So in Bitcoin, it is a serious business model and it's hard to earn money. So it's not simple. Right?
What do you say to someone, I mean, with the amount that you've covered at this point? Because, I mean, I can see from the content you've created, it's like you said, hours and hours and hours of different things. I'm sure this has happened to you many times, that if you run into someone who just is like hostile almost towards Bitcoin, like it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, I hate it. Like, what is your response when you find yourself in that situation, having a conversation with that person?
It depends on how I'm on it. So if I'm interested in a discussion, I bring some evident data and say, no, that's wrong, and here's the proof for this. But most people which are arguing like this don't want to understand. They just
feel that exact same way.
So you can say the truth and you can prove the truth, and they even say, no, I don't believe. So, okay, no problem. So,
well, that's as far as we can go.
But there's a good strategic behavior to open them. The following: if they say, you ask, I don't know, so what's bad on Bitcoin? And they say, it's so bad divided to just a few individuals, and it would be better if it's more on more individuals or so. Don't say no, just say yes in the first moment, because he's probably right, and you give the signal, I understand your feelings, right? And he said, okay, he's understanding me, good. So, and then you can say, but think about the following. In this moment, he will really think about your argument and try it. You will be wondering how great this works. And so you can open someone which is in front of you. First, he brings an absolute stupid argument. Just say, yes, you're right. And then say, but, and bring a new topic and say, think about this. Try it. It's really great.
Yeah, I think like with that sort of situation, just in general, it's a good idea. Or for me, I know that like if I hear someone say something that I clearly don't agree with, the best starting point, I don't even think this is like something.
Just hit him on the nose.
We'll see how you feel about that. But it's like there's usually some grain or some nugget or something that you can agree on somewhere. And that is like, it's not even something that you can do like as a strategy. Obviously you can in conversation, but I think it's just something you should do. Like both like ethically, that's like a good way to do it. And also just practically, that's like a great way to start. And then from there, you can kind of start cracking the door open, like move more deeper into topics, and it does like open people up more. Like that exact thing is what happens.
I think it doesn't work on 100% of the people out there, but a lot of people which are just against Bitcoin, and they, in fact, doesn't really know why, but they have too much ego to realize they are wrong for years.
Yeah.
I
can't go back now. I'm too committed.
That's the point. So there's maybe a good tactic to just say, hey, you're right. So, and it's not a lie to say you're right, because he's feeling like that, and he's probably right in that. And all you have to, the signal you have to send is, I understand you. Everything people want is to get understood, because so you watched the movie The Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
So he's crazy, right? But why is he crazy? He's sitting there in front of this I don't know, psychological person, I don't know.
Like a therapist.
A therapist, yes.
Yeah.
And he says, you don't understand what I say. So he's crazy because you from the point that you are born, you try to communicate always, but you can't transfer your deepest thoughts or feelings. So I can tell you, yesterday I ran in front of a door and I hurt my brain or my head. And you say, this happens to me 1 year ago. I can't understand that feeling. But the real feeling, how this feels for me, you will never feel that. So all fingerprints are different. All irises are different. Everything is different in you. Everybody is an individual. We can't feel the same. It's pretty a fact that this is not possible. So we try to communicate our deepest feelings and thoughts always since we are born. This is what we literally do all the day when we're playing soccer or something else. We sharing information, literally. So, and if someone doesn't understand information, you're getting angry. Look at someone, you have a discussion with your wife and you just say always, I don't understand. I don't understand. I swear she will be so angry and throwing something at you in the end.
Yeah.
So, because everyone just wants that feeling that another person maybe knows what you feel in your brain. Okay? And when you are not able to communicate what's in your brain and you cannot bring your thoughts to another person, you will be angry. So when there is someone and he's angry about a situation about Bitcoin and he's critical about Bitcoin, give him the feeling, hey, I understand you. You open directly. The Joker is angry on the society because they don't understand him. Crazy people in a asylum. Is this a correct term? Yeah. They're crazy because no one understands them. And they don't understand the society. Right? They understand each other sometimes. They talking about absolute nonsense, but they have the feeling, yeah, I understand you, it's good, yeah. So someone's talking about airplanes and another one about football, and both say, yeah, great, so because they're crazy, but it's good for them. And the problem comes up when someone's not understanding. So give someone the feeling, I understand you. This is the point to connect to someone and to exchange information.
Yeah, it seems like it's so easy to misinterpret like why someone is behaving a certain way or why they're saying the things that they are, but that is like the root or the core of, I think, a lot of like these discordant feelings that people have like internally or something. You are right about getting upset like that.
And this is so interesting on Bitcoin because Bitcoin is this 100 proof information network, right? So all other information in the internet maybe are a lie. How can you prove this? You can't. So Bitcoin is the only information layer globally we can sync ourselves, and it's 100% true. So this is a base layer for communication. I mean, even so, someone say money is language. I mean, you don't speak the language of someone in a foreign country, and you go in this country and you show on the bread and you say, so you will understand, right? Money is language. So it's a base layer for a society. So without money, there's no bigger society, right? There's something, it's Dunbar number. You know the Dunbar number?
I don't.
Dunbar number, Robert Dunbar is a neuronal theorist. So he found out there's a cognitive border from 250 people you can have in your social field, like friends you have contact with and so on. So more than 250 is quite difficult to handle. And if you see the medieval time where we had no money, just where we exchanged, I don't know, chicken into a cow or something like
bartering.
This. Yes.
Yeah.
The villages were around 150 to 250 people, because this is the part you can handle without the money. But if you have a car production today, maybe 100,000 people are involved in the production of one car. How can you make the numbers, and how can you imagine how expensive should this car be that I can sell it and so on? Yeah. You need something like money. So that we have a global society, or all societies with more than 250 people need money. So the money is the base layer for a society, right? And this is a point. Bitcoin is a absolute 100% information proved base layer for a society. And we never had this before.
Yeah, I think that's why it's taking so much getting used to for everyone in society, because that is such a big shift. Like if you have this context and this environment that literally hasn't existed until 15 years. People are always like, oh, it's too late to get in on Bitcoin. And I'm like, man, we're well under 2 decades. Like almost nothing has happened. And actually that was one of the next questions I was going to ask you, because you had a YouTube video recently. It was called, this might've been translated, because YouTube is now auto-translating titles.
Great feature.
Yeah, it was all about, is it worth getting started in Bitcoin in 2025? So the question that I was going to have for you, I mean, I think I definitely know your answer. I'm just wondering how you'll answer it. Is do you think it'll ever be too late to get into Bitcoin? Yeah. At any point, is that going to happen?
I think it's never too late to get in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is absolutely fixed on 21 million or around 21 million coins. There will never be more, but we will probably more humans. We will probably going to the space and create intergalactical race out of the humanity, and you have to divide all this by 21 million. So Bitcoin, under this idea, Bitcoin will go up forever. And so you will be never too late to Bitcoin, because it's the best and the hardest thing the humanity ever created. And I think people think that this hard bull markets will end probably, but I don't think so. I think that the halving impact is still huge in the future.
Yep.
The reason is, yeah, they are right. The new coins are just a small amount from the whole thing. I mean, 19.8 million Bitcoin are found now, and there are 21 million in total. So in the next 120 years, we will get 1 and some Bitcoin, right? So 1 million and some Bitcoin over 120 years. So the most Bitcoin are in the society, the most supply is in the society. But the thing is, other than fiat money, there's a good reason why you save your Bitcoin. And the amount on exchanges and the amount you can buy is decreasing faster than the halving. So you don't have to see, the halving is, 3.25% of the whole stash. You have to see how much is this from the coins you can buy right now. And when this number decreasing, the halving impact maybe rises in the future. So he will have a bigger money impact or bigger price impact than the halving, the second halving or so. And I think there will be phases where so disruptive technologies, when they're coming up, there's some nerds interested in, and the internet. So the first nerd in the 90s had a modem and were happy that the telephone was blocked and they could surf on the internet. Great, right? So, and then there's a part, the first normies coming into this. So, and then it will from the first what's the term? when this network is coming up, so you have some people coming in, so then it's stopping a little bit. So I think we have this point right now. But then the society is coming to this, and the middle society, the norm is coming to this in a very large way, like the internet. So in the 90s, some people had internet. In the 20s, some normal families had one computer in the house and had internet. So today, most families had, 5 ISP connections with their smartphone, with their computer, and everything on. So this is a hardcore, I don't know the word now. It's, it's
like
gone.
Traffic or bottleneck or like something?
No, I mean the growth rate, adoption. Oh my goodness.
That one.
Yeah, that,
the one we talked about earlier.
Yeah. So the adoption rate is increasing when the society is coming. And imagine we are now probably, even if we are 1 billion Bitcoiners right now, there are 7 more billion coming to Bitcoin. What is happening? Because how much Bitcoin can you buy now on exchanges? 2.5 million or so. So the first 1 billion people coming to a stash, 18 million, since Bitcoin was created. And now 7 billion people coming to the last 2.5 million Bitcoin. So make the numbers and you will see the real price increasements will follow in the future. So we are not too late. And even if all this is gone and Bitcoin is our money and all fiat is gone, I don't know. Right? Yeah. Even then, is Bitcoin the best saving technology? Yeah, it's not your, I want to spend some money on a company because I think they outperform Bitcoin. Yeah, you can do this. But if you want to save money, Bitcoin will always be the best technology.
Yeah, that's where I would have taken it to. If you hadn't said it, I would have said it. But like, even after it's all been mined, we're still looking at something that is static in its supply. You're not going to have that being manipulated by any party on the outside. That was probably one of the biggest ones for me that really was kind of the light bulb moment for myself. I was like watching, like I didn't care when I was a kid. Like, I don't know, you just think like you accept the system of money as it is and like, oh, it's cool and whatever. But I didn't think about like how it works until I got older, and then seeing these things happen. We talked about literally earlier the difference between 2020 and 2025. At least in American money, it's different all over the world. Like, well, most of the world was hit pretty hard with inflation, I think, throughout the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
But it's like even if you're not looking at something where Bitcoin is still coming into the system, eventually it will be fixed, and we're never going to just print more Bitcoin. That doesn't happen.
Yes, and even if no one else is coming to Bitcoin from now, we will have more technology improvements and so on. So we can create new cars more efficient. We can build new homes more efficient. We will, build space stations, and we will be more efficient over the time and all these things. But Bitcoin stays fixed. So Bitcoin represents more efficient products. So you can create more products. So more products always are compared to a fixed amount of Bitcoin. So even this, so technology improvements is deflation. So that's the point.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even need it to like grow in value. I just want it to hold. Like if it can just stay the way that it is, that's enough for me already. But yeah, thank you so much for all of your answers today. I've just got one last question for you, one final one, because I was curious. But with where things have come from and gone in terms of Blocktrainer, the development of your YouTube channel, the website that you're running, the team that you have now, what is it that you want for the future of this platform? Like what direction do you want it to take?
To be honest, I don't know. I just do the things. I don't plan that much.
One day at a time. So it seems to be going pretty well for you so far.
Yeah.
So
if you leave all your plans, the life will be very easy. Yeah. But we are the planner. Always we try to do processes and all this stuff and because we can plan and we think this is efficient. This is efficient when you drive to your job in the morning and you stand in the traffic jam. No, it's not efficient. So just stay at home. You can do something else because this is more efficient. But the society says, no. You have to stand in the traffic. You have to come late to your job and you have to work 1 hour longer instead or something else. So I think the most efficient part is to realize you can't plan the life. This will never work. So it will maybe sometimes work, but in most cases, so I mean, you know how accurate our weather forecasts are. I mean, after 3 days, the chance that the forecast is correct is under 50%. So why we think we can plan the future? I mean, maybe you're dead in 1 week because a car is driving over you. It's over. People planning 10 years for a goal and dying after 5 years. For what? So just live your life and realize you don't have to make so much plans for some process. I'm totally with you. There's some things you need to plan and you need to, but I don't have a target for my company. I just do the things which coming in my mind and just do the things. I don't plan
do
them.
the thing. So that's it. Yeah, I definitely find I've noticed that when I plan things, almost all the time it never goes the way you're thinking it does.
Yeah.
Like you try to do that, it just doesn't work that way.
I learned it in the IT. I was a project manager, and if you plan a project, you can always rise up all hours. Maybe a developer needs to develop a API or so. You can put 40% on it, but maybe not. you never know, right? So the planning is completely strange, and in the end, you have a number there, and you can show this to the CEO and everything, and all parts say, yeah, that's great, we can afford this, but in real, you can't plan this. So it never will work. So that's just crazy. And people try this, and I think this is also something coming from the fiat world, because the fiat world needs to plan everything, because they spend the money in plans the central bank does. So the central bank thinks we need in the future more electric cars, so pay the people a few bucks that they buy electric car, or do this and this and this, but they can't know. So, and this is a reason where we spend so much efficiency too, because there are some people think they can plan our lives, and that's not possible.
Well, yeah, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for being here. Really great.
Yeah. No, it's
I hope
a good time.
it wasn't too crazy.
No, it's all good. That was solid. Yeah, I think we did like an hour and a half there. That was a good talk. We actually end every episode with what I call the awkward handshake. Because we have these two mics between us, you kind of have to reach around in this weird way to do it. But that's it. We really appreciate you coming out and spending some time with us. And excited to get this content out in English, I guess. It's
perfect. German dubbed.
Yeah, we just want to have people. We can do that for our channel. We'll do the German dub for you. But yeah, just glad to get your voice out there for everybody. Thanks for coming out, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.